Ones. Welcome so much and welcome so much. Welcome so much to this beautiful space. I am absolutely honored to host space for you today to talk about something that is oftentimes, I think, very much misunderstood. I want to bring my perspective into this. I want to bring the transmission that is coming through me, as me, and for all of us here. And certainly for me, And if this is your first time here with me, please let me know. I see a familiar name, Petra. Welcome back. Hello. If it's your first time, do let me know in the comments. If this is you've been here quite a fair bit, let me know as well. I would love to just feel your energy and let that energy palpate the entire field. Did I say palpate? Palpitate the entire field. That's being fully present, allowing your presence to weave into the space so that a third space can be allowed to rise and reveal itself to see what will come through today. Welcome Amy, welcome. So for everyone who is here with me today, just in case you feel that, okay, I need to really drop off and this transmission is really powerful for me and I want to tune back in, you can absolutely drop into that again and again and again. This is for you. It will rest in my Instagram and also on my YouTube page, so you can always dive back into that, okay? This is absolutely here to serve you at the highest level. So we are going to have a little discussion, a little talk, and then we will walk into a little, or not so little, but a powerful activation where we can dive a little bit deeper into your inner landscape and see what comes up. And then we will chat, talk. The more you're able to converse with me, the more you're able to take away from this. So I really would love to invite you to participate and really bring forward what is coming through for you so that you can take advantage of this space and the mentorship that you're going to gain from me here in this group setting. Because this is exactly what we do in the mentorship spaces that I have and hold. And so this is a brilliant opportunity that I would love for you to take advantage of and make it, take that moment and have that for yourself and receive it fully. And know that this isn't just a free space or something that you come in and then you tune in or maybe listen and then forget all about it after. Yeah? All right, so let's take a moment. Let's come into this space. If you're seated, allow yourself to really fully land on the ground, meaning your pelvic bones are being released down so that gravity can hold you. If you're standing, that's perfect as well. Just allow yourself to really feel the soles of your feet grounding in, anchoring yourself in. And that sensation feels like you are releasing your chest down, releasing your stomach, your belly down. And it's almost like an effect that goes on and on and on downwards. So from the chest down to the belly, and then down to the pelvis. Allow your pelvic bones to open up, let the pelvic bowl to be really expanded. Just allow yourself to open up. Continue to release any pressure in the chest down, knowing that the gravity, the grounding effect of the Mother Earth that you're seated upon, that you're standing upon, will completely take care of it. Any heaviness, let that come through. Let it open up like a channel that you're just opening up and let it just go all the way down. And as you release and continue to release any pressure in your chest, allow yourself to open your heart. Closing your eyes tuning in and see your heart opening. And sense and feel the spaciousness within your heart. And there is no need at all to force. If you can't feel any spaciousness, that is perfect. If you feel a tiny bit of spaciousness, that is perfect. And if you can feel an entirety of vastness, that is perfect too. So simply allow this experience to be true for you. Can you become so aware of the spaciousness within your heart now? Can you go a little bit deeper through the front of your heart into the back of your heart? Let the back of your heart glow. Let it open up. And place your mind into the heart. Let the heart swell so wide and full that is embracing the heart entirely, welcoming the mind into the heart. Welcome, welcome, welcome the mind, welcome the mind. The mind that often strives to try and figure and analyze and criticize and judge. Bring the mind fully into the heart. Absolutely embracing the mind fully in love. And in that moment, the heart amplifies in its light, amplifies in its frequency. Returning to original state, completely infinite, completely in union. With something that is truly indestructible within you. Take a deep breath into the heart now. Stretch yourself open, open wide. Hold the breath. Let the magnetic field widen. Gather power, gather your life force right here. And when you cannot hold your breath anymore, you are going to exhale your mind and your heart as one into the center of your brain. And let there be fireworks in the center of your brain. Let that divine light shoot out, mushrooming out like a big nuclear plant, just flowing up into your brain, into the center of your brain. That's right. Let it widen all the way out. Let it radiate. And just for a moment, let it stay in the center of your brain. Let it cascade all the way down to the back of your head, down to the base of your skull, down to your third eye. And take a deep breath into the third eye. Bring the light straight in through the third eye. Roll your physical eyes up. And exhale, shoot the light out through the crown of your head into the cosmos. Making connection. Connecting. You may feel that the channel within your body is becoming more and more felt. Perhaps you can see it in your mind's eye. Perhaps you can feel it. There is this channel that connects you to the cosmos above, running through the center of your body and connecting you deep into the earth, to the heart of Mother Earth. Let it be felt. Let the pathway be clear. And allow yourself to slowly come back to this space. Getting present. Let this energy continue to build, continue to form for you. Opening your eyes slowly. Taking in whatever that's around you. Sense and feel the stillness within you. And continue to allow your energy to continue to come in. Come into this channel. Continue to build your presence. Continue to bring the energy in. Any energy leaks, whether it is something that is distracting you right now, a thought that you need to pick up this or go there, an energy leak of a past memory, whether it is an energy leak of something that is beyond your control right now, just observe and bring your energy back here. It's like you see these strands of energy and you're simply breathing them back in. And I will continue to speak and you will continue to be present of where your energy is leaking out to and simply bring it back without any judgment, without any doubt, without any second guessing. Simply pull it back in. That is mine. That is mine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is mine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, mind, for noticing that. Thank you, mind, for noticing that. Thank you, mind, for stewarding the return of my true form. Okay? So as you start to build this energy within you, what you're doing is you're tapping into your core. That which is what I call the vortex of stillness. The more you're able to still your mind, the more you're able to sense and feel where you're leaking your energy out. Because the more you are able to become aware, the lesser you will need to rely on your ego to drive this thing called your life. So today's transmission is about how to be free from your ego? How can I live a life in freedom from the ego? And the one thing that really prompted this this beautiful topic was actually probably last week when I was having a discussion with my beautiful client in my mentorship space. We were speaking about how do we know, whether we were doing the right thing in the moment, and how when we look back in hindsight, it seemed like something was protecting us. And how do we know that it was the ego that was protecting us, or was it my intuition? And the thing that we were, as we deepen into the conversation, what was coming up very clearly is that the first thing that we need to understand about the ego is that it's not something that we are meant to cut out or discard completely or disregard completely. The ego is very important in the sense that it is the fire element in our composition. So if you take Chinese medicine, we have 5 elements, and we are composed of all these elements all at once. They're absolutely there. Yes, maybe perhaps there's a little bit more of a certain element, and when you are aware of that, you come back into balance, right? So that you find yourself in the centrifugal of the vortex, rather than leaning too much towards something where you will find yourself leaking energy into the external circumstances. Because if you're leaning too much towards a certain part of something that's outside of you, that's when you are playing into the illusion that something outside of you can give you something that you actually already have within you, that you are meant to find within you. So let's take the elements first and see how that plays out for you in your life. When we find ourselves steeped in a very in our protective mechanism, oftentimes that's when the ego likes to play the tune of, okay, well, I can't do that because I'm gonna get hurt, or maybe that's not the safest thing to do, because look at the world, look at the state of the world. It's not gonna work out for me because it's not working out for anyone out there, is there? So on and so forth. If you're finding yourself in that situation, let me know in the comment section. I would love to dive in deeper with you if that's something you're experiencing. And I think that happens a lot oftentimes in terms of, things that we have always dreamt of, that we want to pursue, but we're afraid, or maybe a relationship where we truly are desiring a certain kind of relationship, but perhaps there's a part of us, which is oftentimes what we call the ego, is telling us that that's almost like a fairy tale. That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. And perhaps, and most often, most likely, I would say, when there's a domino effect created through past experiences, things that have happened in the past, the memories of the past are actually outweighing the memories, what I would like to call the memories of the future. That's when we become smaller and smaller. We are actually being placed, or we are placing ourselves into a tiny box of rigidity, something that is constricting us, that is creating all this tension in us, and it's making us feel like, oh my gosh, there's no room to maneuver. There is no room for me to move at all. And you start to stagnate, you start to procrastinate, and eventually it feels like there's nothing out there for you at all, and there's no one who understands you. And I want to say this to you through my own personal experience, that is absolutely not true. And the more we are able to see through that illusion of separation, the more we're able to come back towards who we really are. And so first and foremost, what we must understand is to get clear on what is it that we need to take out. Basically, that is not our energy. That's not ours. Yeah, Amy is feeling it 100%. Great. What are we what are we creating right now in our lives that is actually not our utmost and our highest value? And what I mean is that to be fully aligned with our truth is to get clear on what our most valuable experience is. So for example, today I was speaking to a beautiful woman, Amy right here. I was asking her this question, which I would love to propose to everyone here to feel into right now. But before I do that, I would like to bring you into a little activation. So once more, let's come into our bodies right now. And Ria will respond to your question just in a bit. But let's come into our body. And I would love for you to close your eyes in this moment. Close your eyes in this moment. And I would like you to cast your mind's eye out into the environment outside of where you're seated. So if you're in a room, somewhere outside of the house, outside of the building that you're in, I would love for you to see everything that is going on, everything that you can hear in this moment. Perhaps some kind of construction is going on. Maybe you can hear the cars. Whatever that is, birds, wherever that you're in, that you still are, you're able to still hear birds chirping, perhaps. The rain, a thunderstorm, whatever that is, cast your mind out and tune into that. Tune into that hustle and bustle. And taking a deep breath into your belly, big belly breath. You're going to exhale a breath of golden white light that is going to silence those noise. And you're going to allow yourself to move like water into the building where you are. And every inch of your breath as you inhale again and exhale is going to silence every part of the sounds that you're hearing in the building that you are in. Simply turning it down is perfect as well. All the way, continue to move fluidly like water into the room where you're seated, and inhaling again, quiet breath out, exhaling, silencing anything you're hearing in the room now. And as you slowly bring your mind into the confines of your body, like water, you're going to move into your mouth. Taking a breath in and exhaling out, silencing the mouth. And that exhale is going to travel down into the heart to silence the heart. One more inhale in this time, silencing the eyes. And at the same time as you exhale, silencing the liver. Inhaling in to the tongue, silencing the tongue. Exhaling, silencing the spleen and the stomach. Inhaling quietly now, and slow exhale, silencing the ears and silencing any activities in the lungs. And continue to exhale, silencing any activities in the kidneys. Inhaling through the nose, silencing the nose. Exhale slowly. Silencing all the antennas on your skin, those tiny antennas that are constantly processing information coming from all directions in your environment. Just let them be quiet now. And entering into your cells, your muscles, let them all be silent now. And finally, arriving into your bones, let all your bones be silent now. And in this moment, I invite you to drop deeper, deep into your vortex of stillness. Looking within to be truthful, to find clarity within the tranquility. So the first question is, what does control feel like in your body? Simply allow the feeling to emerge. It can be a tiny tension in a part of your body. Your mind may go somewhere in your body. It can be a charge, an activated part, an ache, a strain, anything that's coming up. Go to that part of your body. Again, the question is, what does control feel like in your body? What does control feel like in your body? Make a note of it. Be present with it. And now we're going to move to the next question, which is, what does losing control feel like in your body? What does losing control feel like in your body? Let your mind become aware of the feeling. let's surface out of this for a moment here and let me know what you felt for those two questions. Let me know how that felt for you. Okay. Nani, can you give me a little bit more context in terms of contracting? Where was it in your body? For some of you, it may even occur outside of your body, in your energy field. So that could be something that may be occurring, but usually it will be in your body. And I encourage you to keep bringing it back into the body. First timers may find it really difficult for you to feel in the body, and that is absolutely normal. So just keep dropping into the stillness, keep dropping in, and anything like your mind just bringing you to somewhere is really important to note. Okay, control felt like tightness in my back. Okay, what about out of control? Nani, back to you. My core feels like it contracts. Yeah, good. So I imagine somewhere around the abdomen area. Yes, let me know. And what does that explosion mean exactly? Get clear on it. And Amy, control me restraining myself physically. Okay. Resisting urge to twitch. Okay, which part of you were twitching? But I did feel warm with each breath, like a little hug. Out of control, my mind wandering. Okay, very good, Amy. Yeah, okay. So, Amy, what I really feel for you is that there is this sense of it's almost like you're dropping into the defensive mechanism of running. So there are all the usual suspects of fight, flight, freeze response. And it really does sound like, from what I can gather here, it's like you're running. You need to run. Your flight response is very strong. But I really want to say one thing so that you become aware of this is that big kudos to you for staying with it. Little hugs, make them big hugs. Keep staying with it. And I would invite you in this moment to simply drop in to the out of control. How does being out of control feel like in my body? Simply ask yourself and ask it to be shown to you. And keep breathing into the abdomen. Keep breathing with the knowing that you are here, you're staying, you're not running away, you're not suppressing it, you're not going anywhere. And let it be shown to you. You're not forcing it, you're not scolding yourself or anything like that to make it happen. Bring the mind back into the core of your heart. Once again, like what we did at the beginning, mind and heart. And see what part of your body activates when you are dropping into the feeling of out of control. How does that feel in your body? Yeah, and we'll get back to that. Go there for yourself. Surrender. I felt less tightness, relief, peace. Where is the less tightness? Let's get it very clear. As you can see, I'm trying to get really clear because we are very much entrenched in a world these days where we are filled with information and we're not short of intellect. You know, we're very intelligent beings, but we have turned that intellect into a knife. And it's just like, you know, Sadhguru likes to say, you know, we can't use a knife for everything. Sometimes we need to use a fork to eat. Sometimes we need a spoon to scoop up soup, right? So right now we're tuning back into the body intelligence, because being in the body is crucial for us to work with our magnetic field. We can't talk about energy if we're not in the body. We have to come back to the body. That's the foundation of energy work. So let's get there. Let's get close to where it is. So surrender. I felt less tightness. Where is the less tightness? I think you said in my back. Is that right? Or is it also because you said control was in the back as well? So just let me know, clarify it. Paul, losing control, felt the sharpness against the sides of my trunk and arms. Felt like needing to do something, to act. This is very good, Paul. Kelly, brought me completely back into my heart. Is that the feeling of out of control, or is that the feeling of control? Please let me know. And I think the pain and tension in my back is fear, trying to control everything. Okay, Nani, when I feel out of control, it feels like all of my energy pushes out through my skin barrier into my energy body, and it's bright and hot. Okay, firstly, to address what Ree said, I love that you brought up fear, because I want to tell you something about fear so that you have a context of what quote-unquote fear really is. And Kelly, just pausing here just a moment, because I want to read all the comments before I proceed. Kelly brought me completely back into my heart, out of control. It went into my stomach at first. So it's a charge that is in your heart, that was in your stomach and into your heart. Is that right? Let me know. And okay, so fear, the context of fear. If we come back to the story that we talked about, well, at the beginning we talked about ego. One of the things I love to share about fear is that when we look at fear, we can see that the word, the label itself, is very much a mind-made construct. And the way that we've been raised, the way that we have been brought up to believe in fear is that it's a scary thing, and we need to protect ourselves. We need to really take a moment and consider all our choices and the steps forward before we even go there, because what if we fail? What if we fall down? All of those things, right? But what if I told you that fear, what fear really is that it is an overflowing of energy. The reason we want to, okay, let's bring us back a little bit. Let's reel back a little bit. Why do we have an overflow of energy? The context of fear in this sense is that there is a constriction of the energy. So there's a lot of energy that's wanting to come out, but we are constricting it, we're suppressing it, and so it's making this energy pulsate in us to a level where it feels like anxiety, it feels like fear, it feels like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. And what we are meant to be doing is that we're meant to unleash it. We're meant to expand. All of us as energy beings, we are meant to be expanding all the time. And I want you to cast your mind into this image of a spiral. This spiral, which is who we really are. As an energetic form, we're always spiraling upwards. We are always spiraling outwards, but there's always going to be moments of expansion and contraction. Expansion and contraction. Expansion and contraction. This is the same way the cosmos works. And if we understand how we are the cosmos, we are the cosmos literally unfolding. And when I say the cosmos, you can substitute that as the universe, the quantum field, the energy, energy, the formless being that we are, is constantly expanding. You can call it consciousness if you like, whatever that fits your, your understanding, letting your mind land on this. So if you understand that we are meant to be always expanding, and the contracting happens because there needs to be an anchoring, there needs to be a grounding, as above, so below. We cannot just say we want to be expanding all the way, we want to be all the way up there all the time. We always have success and no failures, or we always are on the peak and never going into the valley. We can't ever live like this. If you ever go too much into the extreme of one side of the spectrum, something will always happen to bring you back into balance, right? And that is where we must understand that fear is happening for us. It's happening for us, and if we can drop the label of fear, meaning drop the intense rejection of fear and the intense desire for happiness, we can become detached from these emotions. We can simply feel them in the body, and we can take them as a feedback of what we have to take in the course of an action. Then that action literally can be something that is not doing something and waiting, or it can be the action of like, okay, hiring that mentor or going into therapy or tuning in back into myself a little bit more. Instead of feeding yourself with something that's external. And this is how addictions happen. This is how we get addicted to food, to alcohol, to Netflix, to whatever shit that is out there that is distracting us from what's going on here. And by God, if there's anything out there that tries to tell you that as long as you do this one thing, you're going to be, free from everything else that you have to look inward to find, please understand that the only way you can return to the truth within you, to liberation, to freedom, it's only through looking inward, because everything is already existing here, right here. And our work is to come back to this truth, to remember all the parts of us that we have scattered outside of us. Okay, so taking a pause just to look at the comments. Kelly, out of control, it went into my stomach at first. And when you asked Amy to look again, this is when I went into my heart. Yes, exactly. Look again. Look again, even if you feel, if you think that you cannot feel it in your body. Look again. Trust me, you will find it. You want to really get used to landing in your body. So that, and this is where we come into some aspects of the practice that I am deeply steeped in, that I share with my clients, that I bring women into transformation through, is that in tea in ceremony, sometimes known as the way of tea, we work with tea as an ancient wisdom. And it meets us where we call the cutting edge awareness, where we are talking about quantum field and we're talking about cosmic consciousness. But this information is not new. It's been out there for a long, long time. And we want to find this, to have this practice is to have a way into a place where our heart's magnetic field is bigger than the superego, bigger than the fear. And in the way of tea, there is something that we often talk about called Wu Wei. In English, it's called effortless action. Sometimes it's called non-action. And it does look like, oh, that person, sometimes some people read it and they would think, oh, that means we're not going to do anything, or doing nothing, or doing less. But what it actually is getting clear on your highest value. You as the highest, quote unquote, self. Who is that? What is that? For example, somebody who is, 24/7 reading fictional books, and you're looking at them and you're thinking, oh my God, they're wasting your time reading fictional books. But if you had a moment and you became fully present to them and asked them, why do you read that fictional books all the time? And then they tell you, I'm actually hoping that I'll be a writer someday. I want to be a fiction writer. So they value something that's different from you. And as you were judging them, you were trying to impose your values on them. And maybe they were doing the same with you. Maybe they were thinking, oh my God, their life is so boring. They're going to like a 9-to-5 job at the law firm. But you love to be in the law firm. You love defending your clients. You love studying law and immersing yourself in the world of law, right? So we must get clear on each one of us. We must get clear on our values. What is the highest self? What is that? What does the highest self look like, is doing and thinking and being? And then, exactly, projection is a huge thing in today's world. And we cancel people easily because we think they don't fit our values. But we have to drop the judgment, because any judgment is self-judgment. I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but any judgment is self-judgment. And if we can come back home and look, guys, I'm human. I judge all the time. I find my mind there and I quickly bring my mind back. And how do I do this? I have a daily practice of coming back to the vortex of stillness every day. I engage within before I engage outside. And understanding that everything around me is a feedback system. It's feeding back to me that there is something about myself that I don't trust enough, or that I'm not anchored into enough. This is very, 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 very important. And the only way we can really do that is that we must understand what's going on in our internal landscape. And that begins with connecting the mind back with the body and the body back with spirit. Too many of us are so lost and so drowned in this illusion of separation, because we're very disconnected from spirit. We're disconnected from the bigger picture. When we come back to this, I was speaking about Wu Wei, effortless action. When we are aligned with our highest truth, we do take actions, but they are effortless, quote unquote effortless, because that is who we truly are. So back to the example of someone who's in law, the way she goes forward doing law is effortless, because that's exactly who she is. She loves it. She thrives in it. Any challenges, she thrives in it. She wants to master something, she invests in herself to master it, because she has a bigger vision of who she is. Same thing with the fiction writer. She will spend all her time sending her work out. Countless rejections doesn't matter to her, because she has a bigger vision aligned to her highest value. And this goes beyond, of course, what we're doing. This goes beyond our ambition to be something. This is truly a conversation that is about being the most divine being that you are. You are not here to conform to others' perceptions. You are here to bring forward your views. Your desires are the expression of the most divine truth within you. So the more we are able to allow that to be expressed, the more we are able to move through all those challenges effortlessly, because that is who you are. Emily, I'm just seeing your messages. Okay, Alicia. Bringing my mind into my heart was genius. It's welcoming the prodigal son home. It was like a reconciliation of the ego and the heart. That's what it felt like. Exactly. We have to stop cutting out bits and pieces of ourselves. We are meant to bring all parts of us all on board. And this is what I say about my mentorship space over and over again. All parts of you get to come along. No parts of you is left behind. Because everything is love, everything is divine. Everything is animated. Your heart, your lungs, your liver, your stomach, everything is taking in, processing information. You gotta understand this. You've got to understand this, because if some part of you is addicted to alcohol or junk food, that's going to deter your body from functioning properly. Yes, that is just the fact of the matter. So if you are able to start with taking care of yourself a little bit more, that's going to have a domino effect on the way you think about yourself. Likewise, if you're able to honor your promises instead of procrastinating or disappearing or vanishing off after you promise something to someone, the more you're able to trust yourself. So your self-trust builds, your self-worth comes home again. This isn't to say that you have to do more to be more worthy. No. You are already worthy. But for you to experience that directly, you got to understand that through yourself. Nobody else can inject it into you. I can say that to you all day, but you're not going to believe me. Kelly, I get frustrated with this process of feeling in the body because the mind gets in the way. Yeah. So Kelly, tune back in if you missed it. We went into the heart. We brought the mind into the heart. And in the mentorship spaces that we can go deeper into, because these places where we do the live, I meet you for 50 minutes. That's not going to be enough. This is what I'm going to say. So deep in the mentorship, we want to work with deep internal alchemy. So internal alchemy involves working with your meridians, working with your lower dantian, really bringing yourself back into the original essence of who you are. And of course, in my spaces, we don't go without the guidance and support of T as an ancestral, wise, elderly hand that guides us into clarity, into a place of what we call the 0 point field, because this is where we become a clear vessel. Like we just experienced very, very briefly. If you felt the effect of what we just did, you're going to be blown away by the effects of the transformation that comes through a mentorship space of 3 months or 12 months. I've opened up a new space, 12-month journey of radical expansion and cosmic alignment. It's called Initiating Awakening. And right now it's at pre-sale price. Yeah. And of course, my flagship offering, Chadao for the Multidimensional Woman, is where we really work deeply with T. You get all the information and the experiences in ceremony, in activation, and we have a mentorship call where we dive deep into your everyday life. And you see me talking like this often while we are working with T as well, because it isn't just about drinking tea. It's about embodying the way of tea as a way of living in harmony, in reverence, in purity, in tranquility. This is a fully embodied, way of living. That's all I can say, really. It's just powerful. Is it Ama? Welcome, Ama. These talks are so critical for helping to usher in this new era of transformation, humanity living from a higher vibration. Thank you, LiYing, for your vision and the work you do. Thank you, my love. Black Moon, set your intention. Emily, well, yep, probably setting intention is great, but if you're not taking any action, it's still going to be the same old, same old. So, this is something we want to get really clear on. Firstly is, what we just did together. You are understanding yourself a little bit more in terms of how you feel when you are out of control. And if we were to work together a little bit more, and Kelly, I am seeing your beautiful comment here. If you are really loving what is happening right here, I actually have a one-off offer, which is an online retreat. And it's right now at an early bird price. It is an online retreat that's going to be held during the winter solstice. And if anyone knows about winter solstice, you know that the light is the most divine at the time. It's pouring in, it's showering in. We are able to absorb the cosmic wisdom more potently because the veils are very thin at that time. So if that is something you would like to be immersed in, you're absolutely welcome to join me in that online retreat right now at a special pricing. So let me know. Just drop me a DM if that's for you. That's where we can really tune in, because you know, when we are working with the energy body, we want to be very aware that each person is unique. Yes. And I want to let you know that there are ample opportunities to work together. You are absolutely the only one who can really make that move and take that action and move through that fear, move through the things that really stretch you, because it really is, it's going to be something that's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to stretch you because it's going to stretch you out of your ego. It's going to stretch you out of the places where you feel like, you know, I'm stagnating. I just don't know what to do anymore. You do know. You do know. A physical retreat, Amy, there is going to be one coming up in London in person in February, and hopefully more around the world very, very soon. Fingers crossed. But yes, you want to be able to see past, and you want to be able to see from a higher vision of who you truly are. And this is the simple question I'm going to put to you. That higher self, what would she be doing? You know, I was caught in the last week, I actually was caught in the very same decision, you know, whether to work with a new mentor. And of course, I was scared, you know, there was a level of investment, and I'm thinking, oh, well, you know, do I really need this? And I got caught into my overthinking mind. Absolutely. But the minute I tune into what would my higher self be doing? And the very, very simple answer of, well, she will definitely be choosing to be supported. I don't need the support. And that was the one thing that was tripping me up at the time. It was like, I don't really need this, but it would be really nice to have someone in my corner. And then my mind went into the old way of programming where it says, well, you know, you can do everything on your own. You don't need the support. You can figure it out. You can do this. That's the ego doing its thing, protecting me. And I loved into the ego. I brought the mind, the heart together, and I asked the question, what would my higher self be doing? What would the higher self feel with this mentorship? Is it true that I really don't need it? Yes, I don't need it. But I choose it because the higher self of me chooses the highest value, and the highest, the most aligned action that is aligned with that value is to be supported while I am out there creating incredible things and doing amazing things and blowing my mind so that I can see further and wider through someone who's done it. So there you go. That was my decision. I said, yeah, I chose to be supported. This is my choice. I don't need it. And I sure hope that you make a decision right here. If you're thinking, I want to come into the mentorship with you, it's not something you need, but you choose it. I choose to be supported. I choose to be the woman who lives the legacy of quiet power, of stillness, of embodied presence. I choose to be the woman who is fully present to my loved ones, not scattered in somewhere else thinking something else when I'm with them. I choose to be the woman who is not victimized by my past. I choose to be the woman who is not a victim to the circumstances that I am in. I actually leverage the circumstances that I am in to create more powerful experiences, and I go out there to share this with others, because it is a disservice for me if I don't. And this has really propelled me and allowed me to share so many things about working with tea that you don't often find a lot in this space. And it comes directly from my meditation. It comes directly from my experiences. And I sure don't want to take this with me to the grave. I'm here to share this with you. That's it. It's as simple as that. So again, coming back to balance, not going too far out to one end of the spectrum, whether it's too masculine or too feminine. My intention is to bring us all back into the centrifugal force of our life force. Okay. So I think today has been a beautiful one. Thank you so much for everyone for being here. Thank you, Ree. Thank you for your donations and your beautiful intentions for if you are reaching out. Thank you for saying yes to yourself. It's not saying yes to me, it's saying yes to yourself, giving yourself that sacred yes. Yeah. All my spaces are truly infused with what I call sacred luxury, and lux means light, and it's truly where I want you to feel your most divine self so that you are fully embodied and you get to anchor that in the presence of love and power sourced from within, not from anywhere else. Yeah. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. I hope this served you. Thank you for staying on for all the whole entire time, to all of you. And yes, Sri. All right. So anyone who is very, very much, feeling the call of the online retreat or the 3-month mentorship or the 12-month mentorship, you're so welcome to drop me a DM and I'll be happy to assist you and send you to the right places. All right, beauties. Thank you. Mwah. All right. Speak soon.